Hi, my name is Joseph. I'm making these videos today to get my name more out there, to get people to know who I am and stuff as I continue to make progress in trying to grow the business I deal in and different things I work in, which is many different industries at a time. Haven't exactly nailed down to exactly what I want to do just yet. But you're probably asking yourself, well, for someone like me, why? So, and someone like from where I come from, pretty much, I never had a Facebook or a social media or any of the others platforms and Instagram. I don't never dealt in any of that kind of stuff. It's never been my interest or anything, and it's still not my interest to be no more than I have to be and stuff. But I realize in order to get where I'm going or where I'm aiming to go and stuff is to let people know a little bit about me and stuff. At the same time, along the way, I can help you different individuals depending on what you're going through in your life to get further ahead in your business or whatever it is that you're trying to do. I feel like my story or my life is I guess you could consider it just a scenario in which everybody has gone through. We have all had our struggles. I come from nothing, and stuff. So I have anxiety. I've been through a lot of pains. I've lost a lot in my life. I've started many different things and different businesses and stuff, and had the carpet pulled out from underneath me from people I trusted. So I probably could have been farther ahead than where I had hoped to have been a long time ago. But things happen and you trust the wrong people and mistakes are made. But I guess it's not a reason to give up or quit. And I guess and a lot of people's idea of what hard work is sometimes a couple hours in a day, or week or month. People's concept of what hard work really is different to each person. Is what I guess what I'm trying to say. And for my life and stuff, a lot of these people I hear that give advice on businesses and how to get rich and become successful and stuff. I guess the stuff they say is true to a certain degree. But I feel like a lot of the story that these people come from is more perfect circumstances or single people that give advice on the circumstances of there being a single person and they have nothing to lose, that they live with their parents, they got to live somewhere cheap, and they live cheap for a while. But I guess this advice what I feel more qualified to give because I am a person that does have, you know, a family and stuff. I've had struggles. I have lost many things, and stuff. I had made many mistakes, and I guess the circumstances, just like anybody, we don't all get it right the first time. Maybe you've gone to jail and you get out and you decided to start a business, or maybe you've fallen and you lost your job, or maybe you have kids, or maybe you're a single mother, or whatever the issues you get. What I'm saying is ultimately that we've all gone through struggles and stuff, and some people got a good start. They started early, or the circumstances are pretty good for them, and their idea of struggles are hard was the fact that they had to live poor, eat cheap and stuff, and share an apartment and stuff, which is cool, which it works out. But not of all of us have those circumstances. We've made mistakes or stuff's happened in the past, and then we start later in our life, much later than we probably had hoped for, or things just don't work out in time in a way that we would have hoped it would have been. So I guess what you're saying, our ideal to start what we wanted to do is not ideal to start what we hope for and stuff. But at the end of the day, I guess I can say my thoughts to what I'm trying to get at is I think that hard work is absolutely needed, and some people say that hard work is not important, to a degree. It's more like what you're doing. But in my lifetime, I would have to disagree with them for the fact that I think the reason I've been able to get where I'm at is because I worked so much, in fact, that even when I probably wasn't being exactly productive, it stood out to people. And because of the constant work I put in and the constant running around and going and going and going, and people got to see who I am by just honestly just constantly going and running around. They see me and then they ask me questions. What do you do? What kind of work do you do? What are you doing? I'm like, you're always running around, you're crazy and stuff like that, or you're busy and you're always, every time I see you, you're running around and I don't know. I guess to get the point is that I'm always doing something. Whether, how do you say, was it efficient? Was it really getting me anywhere at times? Probably not and stuff. But the point is that people saw and recognized that I was always working and stuff. And for those opportunities and stuff, I think that even if you're not being productive, but you're a hard worker, I'm not saying don't be productive, because it's very important that you do want to make progress, ultimately and stuff. But I think for me, the thing is that by the work I produced and I constantly pushed myself into pushing myself where I never rested, I never got to go out and party. I never got to do half the things most people did because that was my choice. It just wasn't who I was. I spent a majority of my life out in the mountains, just running, biking, hiking, swimming type deal, staying away from people. I was really never socialized with people. I never got out to party. I never do anything. And you know what? I guess thank you for those. Thank God for the things I did miss, because who knows where I'd be at now. Yeah, I have a family and I have gone through a lot of struggles and stuff. I guess you're never quite ready, is what I would say, especially when it comes to relationship or business or anything. And when you think you have it down, you're just still always learning. But I guess for me, I realize the hard work is always important, even if people don't see what you're doing, even if it's not efficient, even if you don't know where you're going yet. Because I guess for me, the opportunities that came about is just the fact that people recognize that I was always working, and that people that got to know me eventually became close friends to me and stuff, which is far and few. It's really hard to find good friends, But I'll talk about that on another day. But I think because of the work I've always shown and always pushing myself constantly, and it got me to be recognized by the work I've done, and that I was always, how do you say, I was always going, I was always doing something. So I guess that showed people that I wasn't lazy, and I really, really was determined to make something happen, I always talked about what I was doing. I had people that talked down on me, always say that, hey, I'll never make anything happen. It's not going to be possible for someone like me, All I do is talk big or I dream big, But the thing is, since I was a kid, I was always really active, I just didn't know exactly where I was going. And I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now today's and stuff if it weren't for the people around me, at all, in fact, and stuff. I think no matter what, no matter how hard you work, nobody did it on their own. I don't believe for a second that's the case, and stuff, because I would have to say that not everybody sells their own clothes or made their own car or grows their own food, so everybody needs help at one point or another. I just happen that through my efforts of working and constantly pushing myself to killing myself, in fact, and stuff, because I was determined to make something happen, at least for the ones I care about, that I got recognized and I was given opportunities and chances I never thought I would get. Sometimes I thought I wasn't working hard enough, or, maybe I'm being lazy, or maybe I'm doing the wrong thing, and stuff. But I think it's really determined on if you're willing to stick with working hard, and you do that around the right people, that you will get a chance and you will get recognized if you do it around the right people over time. Even in a place that's a bigger company, you'll get recognized. Maybe you move up the ladder, and from there you get to go. And so, no matter where you really go, eventually, if you keep with it and you really push those extra hours and take the work that somebody doesn't want to do, and you don't just work hard, you do it great. I mean, even if it's cleaning a toilet or washing dishes, turn it into something, make it your own, really give it that effort. If you can do that and you're willing to push past it and see, like, oh, it's a job, I don't want to do that, I'm going to get dirty, oh, this is gross and stuff, then I'm sorry, you're going to have a lot of struggles in life. And I really do believe, and honestly, and even in your work, in your relationship, how you work is pretty much going to define in how you do everything in life. If you're lazy in your work, you're going to be bad in your family too, because your priorities and your ability to provide for the ones you love, I'm sorry, it's just not gonna it's not gonna really be there. For a person that can work, you're probably gonna do pretty good far as what you need to do when it comes to your priorities. I'm not always saying you're gonna be the nicest character. God knows I wasn't always a nice character, still not the nicest character all the time, I can be very direct to the point where I think I hurt people's feelings and stuff. But I've always learned that I think it's better to be you know, honest, and straightforward and stuff, like I said, far as that, I'm trying to stick on the point of hard work as of today. But I do believe a lot of people will say that that saying is to work smarter, not harder, as you probably all hear. And I believe that's true to a certain degree in a certain manner, But I believe for someone like me, I've always thought that's true. But there's also scenarios in which you need to work. For me, my saying is that I keep to myself, as I say, work harder, not smarter, and get stronger, last longer, and stuff. And you keep on that for a certain period of time until you have the ability and the strength and the physical strength and the stamina and endurance to keep pushing forward. And then when you have that strength and you have that stamina and you can really move forward without having to kill yourself all the time, when you got to I guess what I'm trying to say is when you get to a certain point where you can work hard, you can last, and then you continue to put in the work until things run efficiently where you can back off and designate your work to others to have you help you grow, then I think at that point, then you can work smarter, not harder. But always be part of it, always be engaged in what you're doing and always be part of the work you put at hand. Because then I feel if you're doing that, you're always going to be, how do you say, you're going to be in the mix of what's going on. And you never want to get to the point where somebody's just like, well, I'm going to let them work harder and I'm going to start backing off and not be so much engaged in it. Or then eventually it's going to get to the point where if you have employees like that or whatever the situation is, they're going to use that over your head, say, hey, if you don't pay me more, then I'm out of here. Then you're kind of forced to do that since you stop learning and you're not the one doing it anymore. Eventually, that you're going to get to the point where you rely on them. And if you rely on them too much and they leave and stuff like that, you're put in a tough spot. So honestly, I think there's a certain degree in which, like, it's true that you do got to get help and stuff. But I think before you grow any business or before you do anything, you got to learn the part where you work hard. And I mean really hard. If that means 2 or 3 days of without rest much and eating in much and weeks on end and months on end and years on end, when you really put that work in to really know what it's like to struggle to run a business, then I think that's what you got to do. Because as I'm saying, I've learned the hard way in many aspects. I ran many different things and I thought I had good people and I had the carpet pulled out from underneath me. So you always end up starting over. So it's a good thing that you know that concept of working hard because then you're willing to get back up. But nonetheless, if you don't have those things and you don't have that endurance to push yourself and do what's not comfortable, then you might as well just don't even start because you're best off just going and working for somebody the rest of your life. Because otherwise, you're just you're gonna have a lot of heartache for sure. Because working somewhere can be hard, and if that's hard for you, running your business is even harder and stuff. That's one of the things for a fact that if you think you're gonna run your business and you're gonna work less, no, in fact, you're gonna work more, a lot more, in fact, until you get to a certain point. So do believe me when I tell you that at the end of the day, this is what I've done. This is what I've been through. But I do know that if you're always expecting to be for somebody else to do everything for you and you want to have an easier life, then you're going to have to put in that work first and you're going to have to go through a lot of struggles to get there first. So this is my take on it.